All right, well, don't tell me.
Yeah, you gotta watch it, bro. All right, let's get into some news. All right, first bit of news from the Wall Street Journal. Equifax sent letters inaccurate credit scores on millions of consumers. Equifax Inc. Incorporated provided inaccurate credit scores on millions of U.S. consumers seeking loans during a 3-week period earlier this year, according to bank executives and other familiar with the errors. Equifax sent the errors scores on people applying for auto loans, mortgages, credit cards to banks and non-bank lenders, big and small, including JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, Ally Financial, the people said. The scores were sometimes off by 20 points or more in either direction, the people said, enough to alter the interest rates consumers were offered or to result in their application being rejected altogether. The inaccurate scores were sent from mid-March through early April, the people said. The company began disclosing the errors to lenders in May, they said. Equifax said it's since fixed the error, which the company described as a technology coding issue. The glitch didn't alter the information consumers' credit reports, the company said. And one last bit of quote from the president of Equifax: we have determined that there were no shift in the vast majority of scores during the 3-week time frame of the issue. For those of consumer that did experience a score shift, initial analysis indicates that only a small number of them may have received a different credit decision. Then it goes on to describe by each set of criteria who were impacted based on people who apply for loans, based on mortgage loans, auto loans, and things of that nature. So, fellas, what do we make of this huge clusterfuck by Equifax and their inaccurate credit scores?
I just want to get this right. They're saying that somebody fucked up and then it caused the error and it caused a glitch. Like, how was this glitch? How the fuck was this glitch caused?
Well, they're probably covering their asses and saying that it was a glitch, which it probably was a glitch, but it's probably more technical than that. But they're just calling it a technology coding issue.
You know what? For me, I don't see the big deal in this, because niggas know what their credit standing. So, like, if somebody's saying, oh, well, I see that these niggas fucked up, so I'm about to take advantage of the fact that they fucked up and, pretend like I got a 700, 800 credit score and I really know I don't and I can't afford none of this shit. I mean, that shit is on them. Equifax got to tighten up. But I don't really know that the issue for me is, like, the fact that they fucked up. It's just more like, what the niggas decide to use their information. And it kind of seems like, not too many people took advantage of this shit. Instead, it was just like a misrepresentation of, like it only affected a couple people, right? So that's what we're saying for the most part.
Well, they're saying there was inaccurate credit scores on millions of U.S. consumers.
Yeah, but then what did that, like, how did that affect them though? You get what I'm saying? Like,
well,
were they applying for something at the same time, or?
They could have been. They could have been.
For me, it still comes down to, like, what these niggas decided to do with that information. I'm talking about the consumer. Like, if I got a 600 credit score and I look up one day and I see, oh shit, these niggas fucked up and my shit is 800, like, am I gonna be a dumbass and, try to take advantage of that shit knowing that they're gonna switch that shit back? Or do I just fucking leave it as a, until they rectify the situation? It's unfortunate.
You take advantage.
I want to say, it's unfortunate that they fucked up, but, the biggest scheme of things, like,
But it also could fuck you up in the opposite way. Like, let's say you were someone with an 800 credit score and Equifax was reporting that you
down to 6.
Yeah, exactly.
That should just inconvenience me for I mean, it's fucked up, but it just inconvenienced me for a small amount of time, so they got the shit right.
I don't know. Chime in, Black Zeus.
So knowing the history of the credit, how the credit system got formed, I just think it's all bullshit because essentially it is a somewhat um, subjective system. That's why you don't have a consistent credit score between Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. Um, and it shows that these systems have way too much power over someone else's life, especially when mistakes can be made like that. You know what I mean? The fact of someone can put something incorrect on there, such as an old bill or something that somebody glitched up or messed up, whatever the case is, and put some wrong information on there, and they can screw you over. Or if someone manipulates the system well enough, you can have, a stupid amount of debt, but because you have a stupid amount of credit on the other end, even if you're not paying that debt, your credit score still looks pretty good because of your debt to credit ratio. So there's so many ways to manipulate that shit. It's just like it almost holds way too much weight and value. But real talk, if someone is in a situation where they were, let's say like Kel's example, they were 800 and they're looking to get this mortgage, and then they're like, oh no, you got a 600 score. We're gonna have to hit you with, a 7%, mortgage rate.
Yeah.
Versus like, a 2.5 or whatever the case may be. That is fucked up. That makes a huge fucking difference over time. That mortgage rate will fucking destroy you over time and everything. So that can be really fucked up. But if it's in the benefit of a person where it's like, okay, they have a 600 score and they got an 800 and they can get that lower rate. If they know how to maneuver right, then they could play that shit right, whatever, and take advantage of it. Once it's locked into place, they got to do what they got to do. I mean, but granted, it was a small window. So it's like, but at the end of the day, this is one of the reasons I feel like these privatized systems have way too much power over other people's lives.
I just got a text message from Dave Ramsey. And it's like, I've been telling y'all stupid ass niggas all this time to stop fucking with credit. Tell Schubert I said, what up?
Jesus.
Tell Dave I ain't got not one credit card.
But you still need credit, I think, to Schubert's point.
To buy
I love what you said.
Car,
yeah, exactly. Like you still
those are two major things you need credit for, unless you really coming from, you balling, coming from like, trust fund money or something.
Yeah. Like you still need credit, like you said, to buy a home or a car and shit. Even for a business, you still need some people start off with their personal credit score before they could, build up a business credit score. Damn, sure, you took all my talking points. I really don't even have much to say. That was so well stated in regards of all the issues. I just could only imagine if you just was on the wrong end of this erroneous score, what this, being hit with a higher interest rate than you should have been, like what that means for you financially, like over the course of the loan that you were looking for. It's fucked up, man. It is something to be said that there's too much power in regards of lending these 3 credit bureaus this sort of agency to dictate whether or not we could pay something. But I can't think of a better way to assess someone's ability to pay something, though. That's the thing. It's just like, I don't want to just levy criticism and not have another solution.
I mean, my whole thing is, I would have a problem if they simply listen. This is someplace where you can get see someone's track record. Here's what this person has in debt. Here's the limits on this, that, and the other, like a detailed credit report about. But the score itself, I feel like that shit is like real
subjective.
It's really subjective and shit. It's like the fact of you don't have any consistency between all 3. But the fact is that if you have the same information on all 3, then the lender can make the opinion on that. Like, well, I see you have this credit card that is like, $8,000, and you used up $7,000, but you pay your mortgage and this, that, and, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
depending on what the thing is, if I'm offering you another credit card and I see, well, you ain't paying this other credit card, well, then fuck you. You got to go. But if
Go ahead. Finish it.
But if I'm like, if you're looking for a loan for a home or a car, and I see that you've always paid your car payment, you've always paid your rent or whatever the case is, that's different because the fact of it's it's a more of a primary item versus a luxury item like a credit card.
Yeah. I think the score is just to help quickly because you got millions of people out here. It's just a quick go-to point for any lender to say, all right, what could I do without having to do a deep dive analysis on each individual person? Because that's a lot of, that's a lot to share.
Yeah, but that would be fair if the lender looked at all three scores. But most lenders only look at one. So you don't know which score is the one that they're going to look at.
These are facts.
So that's the problem. If they were looking at all three and saying they're kind of taking the average, this one says 6, this one says 8, this one says 7, then you could be like, well, let me average that out. That's going to put you around a 7. Maybe I could work with you. You know what I mean? But if it's like, I'm only looking at the one and the variance in the grade between the two scores is so huge that it can either make you or break you, that's not fair.
I think once you get to a certain point, though, as a lender, and you've looked at all three after so many times, you can look at one and get an idea like, okay, kind of have an idea of what the other two are going to say already without having to look. And, I mean, I don't know if they have it in other sectors, but even with like homes, and maybe it is just for like rental properties and shit, but you got a lot of hard money lenders who don't really care too much about the credit. Them niggas is looking more so at how much money you make. And, if the deal works for them, like, okay, if this nigga can't pay, can I take this shit over? So there are other options, in certain situations where your credit score, doesn't come in too big of a, doesn't play that big of a factor.
Yeah, but your credit score can play a big factor because there's some occupations, some jobs you cannot get if your credit score is shot.
I mean, shit, do niggas know that going in?
I mean, and the whole thing is, once again, there's 3 different scores depending on which score they're taking. You know what I mean? Like every year I get my 3 credit. I send out a free score every year so I can see where I'm at. You know what I mean? And before I knew anything about credit and this, that, and the other, the first time I looked at it, there was a huge, like almost 100-point difference between my Equifax and my TransUnion.
TransUnion? I hate TransUnion for whatever reason.
All right, there was almost 100-point difference.
Yeah.
Now, at the time, I wasn't, I wasn't looking to buy anything or this, that, and the other. But if I was in a position where I needed that score, I could have been screwed.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Well, they basically said that they're not taking this issue lightly. They're definitely going to fix this issue. Now, in regards of restitution, I was looking to see if there was any reports in regards of what they're going to do for certain folks. Like they're going to reprice certain loans, so that people could reapply for those loans. There's going to be some things that they're looking to do to help those folks, but at the same time, I don't know, man. It's just like, how willing are the banks or the lenders are to cooperate with this sort of thing? That's the problem now. It's just like, great, Equifax identified this issue, but if I'm a bank, I'm like, now I gotta, how do I know that this person was impacted now?
The only trade-off, really, and it kind of sucks, but it might be in the long run. I was like, I got you next time.
Stupid. You stupid.
Like, nigga, I'll bump your credit score up by 30, 40 points, nigga, when it's time. That's it. One-time voucher, bro.
He's like, I got you next time. Like,
It's time for you to refinance, nigga.
like people are applying for homes like on the regular.
No, it might not be a home, might be a car.
Be a car, you right?
Yeah, but the whole thing is the opportunity for the home may have been passed because your credit score wasn't right. And
Yeah.
you couldn't get that loan, and now somebody else got your dream home. Versus a car, there's always going to be a 2020, 21, 22, this, that, and the other. So the car is not the issue. It's the home that's like an issue.
Niggas need bigger dreams, bro. If you got one dream house, nigga, you need to dream bigger.
I can't with him.
I can't with this.
That was the one house I want. Nah, nigga. There's another
Smith,
house.
oh, snap, Smith, what's going on? I just saw you popping up. What's going on, brother? Welcome.
Which one is it, Smith? Drunk or high?
We gotta
or
start.
both?
We gotta start locking the meeting after a certain time, Al.
I don't know how to do that, and I
Oh, that's easy, bro. Let me send
You just gotta put a password on.
Hey, first of all, nigga, it's called better late than never.
But never late is better.
No, that shit's called CPT, my nigga. Don't be trying to redefine it. It's called CPT.
Nah, ain't no CPT. It's called I'm on vacation, nigga. Henry was on vacation. That nigga ain't show up. I showed up, though.
No. Switch that up.
He
Henry
gave
was
us
on.
a heads up and said
Henry
he
was
was gonna
on-
be in Jamaica.
Henry was on
understand.
No, hold on, Smith. You said it wrong. Henry was on vacation and ain't nobody show up, nigga. Don't do that. Ain't nobody.
Like, I was still getting text messages, nigga, while I was in
I
Jamaica.
sure enough did.
They was going to show up. They just
Nigga, no matter what they was going to do, bro, they just did it.
Nah, it wasn't that.
that was on me. That was
Like,
the reason
Goose
why.
had something to do, and it was called a blackout, motherfucker, a roving blackout.
I'm sending this info over now. I don't have to lock the meeting.
Anyway, let me fill.
And Black Goose, it's all of the
What
above.
up?
I was on vacation, man. I'm on vacation.
like I'm on vacation.
Don't say summer vacation, nigga. You
Said
better really
all of
be
the
somewhere.
above. I'm on vacation.
Where you at, Al?
My man.
All right?
Smith, where you at, AC?
Nah, I'm home right now, motherfucker.
Nigga, I'm on vacation, summer vacation.
So Smith, real quick.
I'm Hershey Park this week, but I'm
Nah, Brad. Next story.
No, I just want to quickly highlight. The first story was on Equifax sending inaccurate credit.
Oh yeah, I
scores.
heard you all talking about it. I just ain't chime in.
Yeah, so I just want to hear his points real quick. So any thoughts on Equifax screwing over millions of people during a short period of time from March to April with fucked up credit scores?
No, I was going to say the one thing that you all left out is, unfortunately, you always need a score. Whether it's a fucking score for getting into college, a score for getting into a fucking high school program. Unfortunately, in America, we're judged by scores, so can't really get away from that shit. Now, them fucking up the score, that's a whole nother thing. You know what I mean? But you always need a score in America, so that's how it is. But as far as fucking it up and making people either default on something or get highest interest rate, that's bad business, and they don't fix it. You know what I mean? It's always easy to fuck it up, but then you don't fix it. So, that's bad business. You know what I mean? But you need a score.
You need a score. That's why I say I don't think we could completely get away from the 3 credit bureaus. Maybe they should be 1. I don't understand it. Maybe I don't know the history of the 3 credit bureaus. Like why we ended up with 3 is kind of weird to me. But
no, I think you need to have 3 though, because it's kind of like you need to have an odd number, right? If you have 1, then you got a conglomerate. If you got 2, then if we get at a stalemate, there's not a third entity to say, hey, this is what it is. So you got to have 3, right?
yeah.
Why not just take?
Nobody ever uses all 3. That's the problem.
Why not just have all 3 come together? Still, okay. This is what my number is. What your number is. Our number. Average that bitch out, and then just present that one number.
Do the coaches, not the coaches, do the NFL owners come together to run one NFL team?
Well, are they competing with each other? These 3? I don't know.
Yes, they are.
Well, then that makes sense. Why we got 3 then?
But the issue I think Black Zeus brought up is just like what sucks is the lender would like might not go with all three and might just go with the one to assess that rate, and that's the fucked up part about this whole system. That's probably
because the one is like, yo, I'm gonna charge you this price, which is cheaper than my competitors, if you use my fucking software.
Nah, it's not even like that. It's just their preference to go to that one. That's it.
Yeah. All right. Well, the next story is this from the New York Post. Black Zeus, you might despise this story. This is another administration, bruh. After the Biden administration,
a long ass time on that first story. If this the next story, I just want.
Nah, we spent the first half an hour bullshit about
some.
I was like, nigga, it's 9:46. Yeah. Second story, but go ahead. My apologies.
Nah, so you guys, Smith, you a business owner. I think you have like something on the side going on. But anyway, for all my small business owners, you're gonna despise the Biden administration even more after the whole $600 thing. This is from the New York Post. 80% of new IRS revenue will come from small businesses earning under $200,000, tax expert says. Small business owners may soon be in for a lengthy, expensive battle with the IRS, tax expert warned. A key provision in the Inflation Reduction Act, which throws an extra $80 billion to the IRS to improve the agency's collection of underreported income, will end up targeting small business owners to pay for the legislation, according to nonpartisan watchdog Joint Committee of Taxation. The group estimates that between 78% and 90% of the estimated additional $200 billion on the IRS will come from small businesses making less than $200,000 annually. Just 4 to 9% will come from businesses making north of $500,000. Meaning the legislation in sharp contrast to Biden's longstanding claim that he wouldn't raise taxes on anyone making less than $400,000. And then there's a quote by some representative from the Tax Union Foundation that you could guys read for yourself. So, fellas, last year we talked multiple reports about the $600 situation that the Biden administration and then helped pass through with House and the Senate, and now we got the new Inflation Reduction Act, how they was going to fund this, and apparently what they're going to do is fund the IRS to help fund this bill, and it's targeting small businesses. So what do we think, man?
The small business has to say that they're funding this legislation.
That's what the tax experts are saying. They're saying like, yo, when we whittle through the bill, and what it looks like, how they are going to fund this this new initiative with the Inflation Reduction Act, the small businesses making under $200,000 will be the primary target to collect funds from.
To fund this legislation bill.
Yeah, just fund this legislation bill.
Yeah.
Now, I just got one more question. I'm gonna let y'all answer.
Yeah.
What is this bill saying? Like, what do they got to do? Like,
that's a good question. I didn't have time to look up the Inflation Reduction Act, but
okay.
While I looked that up,
I was just making sure I didn't miss it.
Yeah, you didn't miss it. It wasn't presented in this article.
Let me see this shit. Inflation Reduction Act. There's a bill proposed that aims to curb inflation by reducing the deficit, lowering prescription drug prices, and investing into domestic energy production while promoting clean energy solutions. So I guess it's to fight inflation by lowering
inflation and climate change.
That's
it's gonna
prescription drugs and domestic energy production.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess green energy.
So they're gonna lower inflation because they want to invest into the U.S. so that we can fucking
save the environment, have low prescription drugs, and
yeah, I don't like that one.
And reduce inflation. So
I don't like the fact that it doesn't make any sense that you have the niggas with the least. I don't believe that the niggas with the least amount of money should have to pay for anything. Like the more money you make, the more you need to pay for. This is just the middle class getting effed over again.
As always.
Yeah, like we already got a. No. Like this should be for what's that? $200K and up. This should be $200K and up. If you make $200,001 or more annually, then you should be the one doing this. Last words, Schubert, it's time to step your fucking financial game up, bro. Get over that 200K.
What the fuck?
It's over, bro. There's no way. It's over for the middle class, bro. We all gotta step our games up, bro.
It's not just that though, because so what happens is this opens up the door for a lot of people who are now doing those podcast films, because people are making this kind of money on the internet. However, it's fucked up because you still got the hypocritical politicians still saying one thing and then doing another. You know, you vote on one platform with this damn politician who says, I will not raise taxes on anyone making less than 400,000, and then the very fucking next 6 months later, he fucking
the nigga does it. Yeah,
like it's the same hypocritical shit that's been always. So it's like the fuck, it's bullshit. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, you said it's the Inflation Reduction Act, but guess what? Y'all are motherfuckers that's pushing up the inflation.
Smith, what you got the bigger problem with? The fact that these niggas are like having the small businesses fund this shit, or the fact that niggas is going back on their word? Like, yo, we're not gonna do this shit, and now niggas has
unfortunately, these motherfuckers always go back on their word, whether it's a Republican or a fucking Democrat. So that's why fuck the politics about it. But nah, it's the fact that at the end of the day, I think you already said it, like, you still keep fucking with the middle class.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like the middle class keeps getting the brunt of the bullshit. You know? Like, y'all motherfuckers just invested fucking damn near $36 billion in a fucking war in another country, and then you come into this shit and this is what the American people get. Like, that shit sucks, bruh. That's bullshit. So, nah, I don't like it. I don't like that Biden went back on his fucking word, and I don't like that the fact that it's still, again, targeting small businesses who just went through a fucking pandemic and got hit the fucking hardest. You know what I mean? And
they're good now, bro.
Oh, they good, man. That's out of here, man. Anyway, I'm done.
Black Zeus.
This nigga said despise.
I know, Black, because look, man, I'll share my thoughts after Black Zeus. Go ahead, Black Zeus.
I'm gonna give you credit, Brad, because you used the right word. Number one, I need you to send me that article.
I can print it out and burn it. This nigga want to go after the writer.
Like you about to form his own militia.
Do know that the nigga who wrote this article was not the one who started this legislation, right?
Use the article first.
The nigga
I just need the article, you know.
The nigga who wrote the article was not the nigga who created the legislation, bro.
I'm trying to be cool, calm, and collected about this shit. I'm really trying to be cool, calm, and collected about this shit. Whole thing is there's a $1 trillion deficit. The price of the dollar has gone. The value of the dollar has gone down. The world is basically on fire. There's two fucking things you can do with economics, or with money, I'll say, to create change. All right, produce more of it, or spend less of it, motherfucker. You know, maybe if you trim back on the fucking welfare and all the other fucking things that are unnecessary. How about you trim back on NASA? How about you trim back on paying for things in schools that aren't fucking necessary, like teaching kids Japanese and French and Spanish when those things are not doing well. They're not producing. They're not showing any type of real results. How about you trim back on expenditure on bullshit ass construction on roads where it takes 6 months to fix one fucking pothole? Like, how about you trim back on expenses instead of saying we're gonna charge people more money that they ain't fucking got? But this is that liberal, this is that feminist liberal bullshit. You know, Just
Dude,
that feminist liberal bullshit where money's supposed to magically come out of people's ass.
How you put a feminist on this though?
Fuck it. They want this whole other shit. That's
because they're the
is.
ones that usually push all the fucking agendas.
Okay.
Sorry.
Well.
But like the whole thing is like they're the ones that push all these fucking agendas that are meaningless and bullshit. And think that money is magically supposed to appear to make it all a magical utopia. Instead of saying, you know what? The math doesn't fucking add up. The math doesn't fucking add up.
Well,
not bad. You know what it is? I think Smith hit it on those. Both political parties are known to be fucking hypocrites. But I've never seen a fucking administration so blatant in the hypocrisy in my life. I'm talking about wow. Like I've never had like a wow reaction from an administration until this administration. Wow. Yeah. This is a wow administration. Yeah. And after we, when we were talking about stories regarding them, overseeing people's transaction for, under $600 million. $600. A lot of times people didn't, we were like the very few people that I know really talking about it before it really got popular. And now this, I just think that, not to, parrot what everyone is saying, but I can't help it. Yeah. Like this is really the middle class. Like what the fuck? Like how much more could the middle class be decimated at this point? Like,
but at the end of the day, you also got these motherfuckers saying, we're going to target small and medium businesses because they won't fight back. Basically, you don't have enough money to go to.
But that's the middle class.
Great point.
I'm just saying, though, the fact that they don't
have lobby money,
have volume to be in court with us, so you won't fight back, nigga. You just got to eat this shit.
Yeah,
that's just the middle. That's the middle class as a whole, though.
And that's exactly why I know some people who've taken their small business and just basically gone underground with that shit. I know hair salons who have shut down their hair salons, said, you know what, I'm gonna turn my garage to a hair salon,
out the house,
and people are gonna come into my house and they're gonna do their hair there. I know people that have said, I'm gonna.
Are they requesting
shut
cash
down.
For payment though? Because,
pretty much.
Okay, because we got to remember that whole the Zelle, Venmo, all of that.
That's what I'm saying. They're moving like that now because the fact of it's like, like what else are they supposed to do?
Treating that shit like drugs, bro. Remember, drugs, nigga.
Instead of programs to help those. Here's the thing that kills me about the United States. We put more money into programs into motherfuckers that are failing to do the work, and the ones that are actually putting in that back-breaking work, we're like, take more from them.
Yeah,
because y'all the niggas who working hard, and y'all gonna keep working hard.
Somehow that shit makes sense. And you know where it comes from? Again, it comes from the bullshit ass feminist SJW motherfuckers. All right, that keep saying SJW? That somebody social justice warriors.
Okay.
All right. It comes from them saying the ones that have more should give more. Instead of saying the ones who have more earn that shit, motherfucker. Pulled it out the fucking mud.
Nah, but it ain't even the ones who are. I think Smith's point is the main one altogether. Like, y'all niggas is targeting motherfuckers who don't have the bread to fucking fight back. And it's not even just in this situation. It's just the middle class altogether.
Yeah.
Like, this is because they're not taking it from the people who got more.
You gotta go to work. Even if you're a small business, you gotta be at your business. You can't be fighting fucking court battles. You ain't gonna make no money.
Yeah. And court battles, that shit is expensive.
Hell yeah. And it's time consuming.
Yeah.
Like, you can't be tied up in court. You're going to lose money. So it's easy to target them because, like, the IRS know. The IRS said themselves, they won't fight back.
Yeah.
It's like it's easy to target minorities because guess what? They won't fight back.
Won't fight back. Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Oh, this is what I'm saying. Even with that whole male shit, like, niggas feel like we're not being treated fairly. When are we gonna step up and say something now? That's why all these feminists and all these women. Yo.
And Biden signed he signed another legislation. Just wanted to sneak this in with it. He signs a bill that's going to tackle COVID relief fraud into law. So basically, anyone who took that PPP during the COVID period, they're going to beef it up now, where they're going to there's going to be like a 10-year investigation on those folks to tackle the fraud. So they're collecting their money somehow, some way. And I don't know if you guys been paying attention. There's been a lot of
getting ready to spend a whole bunch more money trying to find
just
people
to
who
collect
rip
some
them off
money.
for money.
Yes.
That's what you saying.
They got it.
Say
Once
that
again.
again. Say that again. Say that.
Fucking waste all this money.
That's what I'm saying. It's like instead of them
Bullshit,
combating expenses, they want to like
Niggas is
try
like,
to pull.
fuck it.
And the whole thing is like, y'all already know them niggas that took advantage of that money ain't got it.
Exactly.
So all you're gonna do is spend money to investigate it, go after them, find out they ain't got it, then what? Lock them up and now spend money taking care of this motherfucker in prison. You
Exactly.
stupid motherfucker.
Yeah, exactly.
Woo!
It's dumb as hell.
But this is what happens when you fucking put some goddamn old ass scene. Like,
Frame.
they take motherfuckers off the road at his age. They're like, nah, grandpa, you can't drive your 64 Cadillac no more. You done hit too many pedestrians and shit. But yeah, we gonna let that same grandpa run the country. What the fuck?
You know, growing up, man, I was told things were bad during the Jimmy Carter era. But I think, look, man, I'm not old enough to say which presidency might be the worst, but damn, bro, this is by far the worst 2 years. When I talk to people young and old, they say they've never seen no shit like this.
Well, I would say this is the worst presidency in my lifetime.
In your lifetime? Yeah.
Worse than Trump?
Yo. People, Trump was divisive. Trump wasn't bad for the country, bro. Like, that's the difference. I told you, Trump, that motherfucker, smart businessman. He just was divisive and didn't know how to bring people together.
Yeah, he didn't know how to do. Yeah.
But as far as having a motherfuckers was eating, bro. Like, at the end of the day, motherfuckers was eating. And like, even the fact that, and I don't know if Cash got this as one of the stories, but even the fact that the hypocrisy to where we will never do anything with that Trump wall to shit.
Oh yeah, and they finished up. They're building up the wall again.
You know what I mean? It's like, yo, y'all motherfuckers, bro. Like, miss me with that bullshit. And Zeus word, miss me with that bullshit, bro. I'm not beat for that.
Yeah, I'm just saying that, and again, this is not from a partisan perspective. I'm just saying, like, when I talk to people, I've seen people who really like apolitical, who like really don't have very much vested interest in a political party, and they say like, I've never seen this country ran in such a horrible way in my life. Cast into their 70s, like, yo, I've never seen a country run this horribly. And now all of these bills are really targeting the middle class, man. But hey. But to Schubert's point, like, if you want all of these programs, these supposed programs, it comes from somewhere, and apparently they're targeting the middle class to pay for it. I really want to squeeze in this last story.
All they gotta fucking do is just stop the fucking program. If it don't work, scrap it. That's just that simple. That's just
what it
fucking
is?
Simple.
It's too much
Stop
pride to
spending
scrap.
Money.
They got too much pride to admit that they're wrong on a program.
It's like, stop spending money, motherfucker. It's not that complicated.
Yeah. All right. Last bit of story. I found this came in last night, and I thought I was done collecting news because of time. But this one I couldn't just help but to share. So this is from Political, Bizarre and Uncomfortable. Adams, which is Mayor Adams of New York, wants photos of city job applicants. The New York mayor has instructed city agencies to present him with photographs of potential hires as City Hall reviews candidates for job ranging from assistant commissioner to departmental press secretary. The move, which aide says will help the mayor recognize his employees in a workforce of some 330,000, and several city officials contend it is entirely a diversity push come as Adams' team struggles to fill an unusual high number of vacancies. Of the 9 and current past officials interviewed for the story, most voiced concern that the practices are already leading to staffing decisions based on race and ethnicity than merit, even if they said they support a diversified workforce, and nearly all of them said that it has added another obstacle to an already slow hiring process. So I'm not going to read all of this. There was a lot to this. I'm just going to share my screen. You guys can read the rest of it. So, fellas, what do we make of New York City Mayor asking for people to have headshots really with their applications to us, to see what people look like as candidates versus to just looking at a resume?
I wanted to finish reading it, but I want to see this first. As far as having the headshots, that shit is not good. That's not a good practice. And the reason being, I watched the documentary on Netflix about the store Abercrombie and Fitch.
Oh, I did see that about 2 months ago. Yeah,
They were getting headshots of the people, and they were only giving these people jobs based off of how they looked.
Correct.
And it seems like this goes back to that. So I don't like it at all. I know it's like, oh, well, no, the mayor just wants to get to know some of the 330,000 people that work under him or whatever the case may be. But motherfucker, you looking at these pictures ain't going to let you know 330,000 people. So miss me with that bullshit. Like, you ain't going to look at these pictures and know 330,000 people. I'll put it to you like this. Even if you're on social media and you got X amount of followers, you still ain't going to know all these faces and names. That shit, that doesn't make sense. The only way that you're going to know is get your ass out the office and go shake hands and meet these people individually. How about that? I just don't like the whole thing because it seems like it's a very slippery slope to set up for exactly what Abercrombie and Fitch was doing.
You know what? He could have got away with it if he said, yo, I need a link to one of your social media pages. And just, I think that was tied to one of the other articles that news stories that we might have listened to. Just to say, I want to see what your fucking activity looks like. And then you still get to see what the nigga looks like. I don't think
no mayor had time to look at those social media links.
Well, I'm just saying.
But you said you got time to look at the fucking pictures. Isn't that the same thing?
Yeah, hey, I'm not in agreement with this either.
Oh, I'm just saying, like, if he can't look at the link, he don't got time to look at the link, but he got time to look at these pictures.
I think that I don't know, I'm not for it. I think it takes away that whole idea of naming your kid a neutral name so that motherfuckers don't judge you before they meet you.
Exactly.
That's it.
Like seeing how on an application is different than seeing a Devin on the application. But at the end of the day, part of the thing that Cash didn't read, it says the U.S. Equal Opportunity Commission addresses this matter on their website, saying that employees should not ask for a photograph of an applicant.
Yeah, I mean, I
for
think
identification purposes, a photograph may be obtained after an offer of an employment is made and accepted, but you shouldn't be asking somebody for a picture before you fucking hiring them. That's a slippery slope for a lot of discrimination cases. That's bullshit. Like,
that should be up to candidate. I'm not gonna lie, I have a picture of myself on my resume, but I use it strategically. When I know that niggas is looking for
that you're doing, you're trying to make your shit look different than and set yourself apart from all the other applicants.
You know what else though, Smith? And not saying that this is the same thing, but didn't they touch on this shit? Am I bugging? Maybe this might have been the other book that I was reading. The power of, maybe it would start with why. Where the nigga was just saying that once they started looking like they bought up like this airline that wanted to basically present themselves as like a happy-go-lucky type of airline. So they started like hiring people who had like team spirit and looked a certain way, and then that helped boost the sales. So I don't know, it might work in that instance.
Okay, so would you like colleges to ask for headshots?
I'm not for this. I'm just
Oh,
saying.
but that's what this sounds like. Like if a college is asking people for a fucking headshot, it's again seems like it's still setting up. Because why do you need to see me?
Yeah.
So,
Black Zeus, I'm in.
so going to the Abercrombie and Finch story. The Abercrombie and Finch story, they were looking for attractive people. They didn't care whether you're male, female, black, white. They look for attractive people. Abercrombie and Finch is a fashion. It's a style. It is. It's an image. So I'm not 100% upset that they're looking for people that fit their image. You know, if they're looking for good-looking people, you know, they want everybody to look like, you know, a attractive person. I'm not really mad at that. You know what I mean? Because the fact of it's what they're trying to promote. It's what they're trying to sell. Now, when it comes to working in a public office, I personally don't give a fuck what you look like. But here's what I do see in this. Twofold. Fold one is a diversity program it's about like, all right, we need to have the same type of diversity in America. We need 50 white people. We need 30 Spanish people. We need 13 black people. We need, 3 gay people. We need, 2 Indian people. We need an Asian person, and we need at least 1 transgender, so that we can say we fit all the boxes. All right, that's a crock of shit. If that's the way you're going to hire people and put people in position, that's a crock of shit, because then you're not guaranteeing that you're getting the people that are best suited for the jobs. You're not hiring off of merit. You're hiring off of, filling off a quota, And the whole thing is, we did read about this in Alchemy, where he said, okay, if you go by a resume and you say, listen, we want people that have this level of education, this level of experience, this level of resumes, whatever, blah, 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 you're going to get the same carbon copy of the same person over and over again. But if you want diversity, you're not going to have a fair system. All right. You're going to say, well, we need a transgender. We need 13 blacks. We need 50 white. We need 30 Spanish to reflect the population of America, even though that may not be the population in this local area or that, whatever the case is. So we're just filling quotas. The other side of that double-edged sword that will slit your throat is that is the new form of discrimination. Because now, where I may be better qualified for the job, I'm not going to get the job because I'm male. I'm not going to get the job because I'm not transgender. I'm not going to get the job because I'm not gay. So that's a whole new form of discrimination. When we think of discrimination, we only think of black and white, but we don't think discrimination as far as not being gay, not being LGBT, not being female, These are whole new levels of discrimination. So
not
this
being,
is fucked
like
up
you
all
said,
the way around.
Not being attractive enough.
Being attractive. Not being attractive enough. Here's the thing. Not being attractive enough is a subjective thing. And that is not within the law. The law does not say anything about when you cannot, the law says you cannot discriminate anyone on gender, sex,
religion,
nationality, origin. So attractiveness has nothing to do with it. That's like getting in the club when they say, well, all the pretty girls get in for free.
Exactly.
So
but what I'm saying is that's how it opens up that slope, though, Black Zeus, because I'm not looking at it on the merit of who you are. I'm looking at what you are, as you just said.
I get that.
And I'm looking at if you're attractive. Look, I don't want to look at if you're attractive, but when your motherfucker's looking at a picture, you're looking at that, whether you want to or not.
You have
to look at the company. The company is a fashion company.
I'm not talking about them. I'm talking in general.
In general,
you got a picture. You're looking.
Got a picture, and I was about to share a story
because looks.
Yeah, because in South Korea, in South Korea,
subjective.
Yeah,
because the picture is going to make you look at a person and say whether they're attractive or not. That's what pictures do.
I do understand that.
That's what I'm saying. Once you get a picture,
all I'm saying is that the two that. Here's the thing. What I was saying is the fact of, yes, it's a form of discrimination with Abercrombie and Fitch, but that's a different type of discrimination versus what we're talking about here in a public office. where we are all tax-paying citizens.
Black Zeus, we are in agreement
versus a private company.
You're missing it.
No, but I think we're acknowledging aspects of that, but I think there's a component of pretty privilege or handsome privilege that people have.
Yeah, that's still going to be.
That's going to be a thing. It's just like
with Abercrombie. I'm talking about
just in general. Like I could honestly say, and this is just me. I can only speak for myself. If I was someone who was in the office, the HR office, looking at applications, and I see shorty who look fine as hell in a headshot,
you're gonna hire.
Her qualification might not be on point to somebody who's like, I might say, yo, hire shorty who looks banging in this headshot.
Exactly, because
like that's human nature.
Up this office a little bit.
And matter of fact, there's study and it's happening in South Korea as we speak. In South Korea, they are known for providing headshots, and a lot of times it's like you gotta have a certain image. So South Korea is known to be the cosmetic surgery capital of the world because so many people get cosmetic surgery done so that they could look good in these photos.
So what will happen is
that they could get jobs.
Yeah, even though in your head you thinking that you're not going to be that way, you're going to discriminate because if you see a lot of fat people, you're not going to probably hire them. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Listen, don't get mad at me. This is real shit that people think.
It's real.
You know what I mean?
I'm not disagreeing.
It's just that element of discrimination that we don't acknowledge a lot of times.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, fine. I'm not in disagreement about that. I'm not.
Yeah.
All I'm just saying is the fact of.
But you're right with your other 2 points, though. It is going to open up discrimination.
My only point is that I have a little bit more leeway and understanding in the Abercrombie and Fitch thing, where their whole business is an image.
Yeah, their whole business is an image. Yeah.
Their whole business is an image. So I'm not surprised when they're looking for people that fit the image versus like if you are working for Apple and it's like nobody gonna see your punk ass working behind that computer in some back office of Apple. They're only looking at Steve Jobs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but if you're expanding your business, Black Zeus, and you motherfucking are hiring some secretaries to run your business, bro, and you're looking at headshots, you are hiring a motherfucker that's attractive, bro. I don't give a fuck.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie to you. I keep it 100.
I'm not hiring. Listen, first of all, it's a fitness thing. I'm not hiring a big bitch. It's a fitness.
I'm about to say. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you.
Like you're going to do it regardless of whether.
Listen, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I will keep it 100 with you. I will keep it 100 with you. Is the fact of trainers I've hired to work for me before. You know, one of the brothers named Keith, another one named Chris, Kevin. You know, a couple trainers I've had.
Yeah, shout them all out, bro.
You know what I mean? Some of these brothers, I've used them. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've used them as eye candy for the ladies.
Yeah,
all right.
Yes,
like these are the guys that stay at 6% body fat all year round and shit. Like 6-pack coming through the shirt. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, exactly. And the whole thing is I've used them because the fact of like, nigga, I'm not trying to represent that. But if that's what people want, if that's what people want to see, I'm gonna put that right there so y'all can see that. You know what I mean? And it made me money. All right, I'm not gonna lie. It has made me money. You know what I mean? Because real talk, the Pillsbury Doughboy ain't the image that you gonna want to sell in the gym, no matter how, like. And I knew a trainer who, when I say this dude was just like, he was round. Okay, there was nothing about him that was said, yeah, that's the type of physical condition I want to get into. All right, and he knew his shit. I give you credit. I gotta give him credit. He knew his shit. All right, he knew his shit, but he was not impressive to look at in any way. Not strength wise, not training wise, nothing. And guess what? He did not do the number in sales as other trainers did.
Yeah,
nigga, like Pillsbury Doughboy ain't the look, no matter how good them biscuits are.
Hey.
All right, fellas, let's get into this book, man. All right,
yeah, so bro, clock's ticking.
Black Zeus book selection, The Comfort Crisis.